All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, Brakathum. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and the salute and the Shalom to all the Akim that are out to labor pushing this truth in all sincerity and in truth. Not sure of the title yet, but um, at work I was thinking about this scripture, Romans 15:4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." Right? It says such things were written in the scriptures long ago to teach us, and the scriptures give us hope and encouragement as we wait patiently for Yahweh's promises to be fulfilled. Right? Now, I'm going to go into a few scriptures of a deliverance, right? Of who Yahweh Shemal Shah delivered. Y'all know where I'm going. Let's get Daniel 3. Yeah, I'll do it a lot. Yeah. Daniel 3:1. It says, Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent together the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, aka magistrates, and all the rulers of the provinces, to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. They stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, says, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, nations, and languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king, Nebuchadnezzar, O king, Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. Whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Azariah, Mishael, and Azariah. uh, 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 um, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Right? So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, aka Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they wouldn't consent to Nebuchadnezzar's a decree. They wouldn't consent to it. See, they were ready to give their life for it. Right? So when the MOTB is mandated, when it is implemented, we're going to have the same level of faith that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had. We're going to have to stand on what we said. See, we will have to make the toughest decision ever. See, because if you take the MOTB, you're going to be destroyed. Right? But if you don't take it, you could possibly lose your life, or you could be outcasted from society. See, but the scriptures say what? In that day my servant shall eat. See, because remember, the ravens came and fed Elijah, right? When Elijah went to the widow outside of her house, she was gathering the last bit of food for her and her son, right? And Elijah told her, he said, "Hey, I know you don't have much left, but give me a piece of bread and a drink of water, and Yahweh Shemal Shah is going to make sure that you and your son eat many days." See, and it came to pass. Her and her son and Elijah ate many days. See? So we have examples in the scriptures of Yahweh Shemal Shah coming through for his people, man. See, so Jake, why would it be any different now? See? Because it say what? Whoever despised that called upon him. It says, whom did he ever despise that called upon him, right? Ecclesiastes, book of Sirach. Well, the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 2:10. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Shemal Shah was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? See? Plus, remember, I'll get that next. It say, then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, and worship the golden image which I have made, well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hand? See, man, so King Nebuchadnezzar, he was getting big-headed, right? He was thinking his shit didn't stink. Right? He was thinking he was the big man on campus. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. They said, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. See, they basically told him, we don't have to. All right, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego basically said, King, we don't have to explain anything to you, my man. We said what we said. We ain't doing it. See? Right? So they was bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments. Right? And they was cast into the burning fiery furnace. Right? It said then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished. Right? He jumped up in amazement, rose up in haste, and spake and said to his counselors, Did we not? It says, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said to the king, True, O king. Like, yeah, we did. What's up? He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire. They have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the son of Yahweh. So who was in the burning fiery furnace with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Our Lord Yahweh was. See? Faith, man. Their belief. All right, man. They were all right, man. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were ready to accept them being burned alive or delivered. They were ready for it. They accepted it. Like, hey, whatever happens, hey. But they were delivered, man. They were delivered. So, Jake, why would it be any different in this time? Jake Yahabashmal Shad, Jake man, Yahabashmal Shad came through 4s in the past. Back in the ancient world, it came through 4s, right? It came through 4s many times in this truth. So, Jake, why would it be any different now, man? Jake, man, Yahweh Shemal Shai, it's the same power from the ancient world. The same power. Full of mercy, man. Let's get. This is what he made. This is the decree that Nebuchadnezzar made. Let's see. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any power except their own. See, man. See, man. So the king Nebuchadnezzar, he even said that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego believed. He even said they trusted in their power. They trusted in Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. It says what? It says they defied the king's command and were willing to die rather than to serve or worship any god except their own. Wow. Hold on. Hold on. This is Psalms 34 and 7. It says, the angel of Yahweh Shema Shah encampeth, or it says, encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. See? Oh, taste and see that it says, oh, taste and see that Yahweh Shema Shah is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. Psalms 91 says what? Psalms 91 and Psalms 91 and 14 to 15, it says, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will deliver him. I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. See? So Yahweh Shema Shah was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in time of trouble. So Jake, Yahweh Shema Shah will be with us in times of trouble, man. Let's get Acts 5 real quick. Acts 5 and Acts 5 and 17. Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and they were filled with indignation. See, they didn't want the apostles to teach in the name of Yahweh Shah. It says, and they laid their hands on the apostles and put them in the common prison. Right? So they were put in prison, in the public jail. But the angel of Yahweh by night opened the prison doors and brought them forth and said, go, stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life. Mm. They say, go to the temple and give the people this message of life. See, so the apostles were delivered from being in prison. So Jake, why would it be any? So Jake, why would it be any different in this time? Come on, man. Jake, we have several examples in the scriptures, man. Several examples, man. That Yahweh Shema Shah will deliver us. Let's get okay. Daniel in the lion's den, right? Daniel in the lion's den. It says, hold on. Let's start up. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom. And over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Right? Basically to protect the king's interests. Right? To make sure the king is good. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. And the king thought to set him over the whole realm. See? Then the princes, it says, then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, because they could find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault in, or it says, or fault found in him, right? So the other administrators and high officers, they was like, oh hell no, we got to do something about this, man. We cannot allow the king to like Daniel more than us. We can't have that. It says then then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Then these presidents and princes assembled themselves, says, assembled together to the king, and said unto him, King Darius, live forever. Right? So they wanted King Darius to basically just make up a decree, right? So they could find a fault against Daniel, right? It say, and the presidents of the kingdom, the governors, the princes, and the counselors, and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute, a decree, that and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any power or man for 30 days, save of thee, right? Except for thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Right? Now, it says, now when Daniel knew that the writing was changed, that the writing was that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem. He kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed, and gave thanks before his power as he did aforetime. Right? Now, Daniel in the lion's den. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Right? Now, King Darius, he tried his best to renege on the decree, to change the decree. But in the Persian law, right, that the king makes, the king cannot change it. Right? So what was established, it was established. All right? Even the king could not change it, because the king, he put his signet on it. It says, then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, thy power, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. See, so even King Darius was like, hey, Daniel, listen, man, don't worry about this, man. The power whom you serve, man, whom you serve faithfully, he will deliver you, man. He said, Daniel, your power got you, man. Don't worry about it, man. Yahweh got you, man. Don't worry about it. Wow. It says, and the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, see, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Now, let's get, I already know what a signet is, but let's get signet ring in ancient times. Okay, signet ring in ancient times. In ancient times, signet rings served primarily to authenticate documents or identify powerful individuals. Beginning in Mesopotamia, in Mesopotamia with cylindrical, I guess is how you say that, seals around 3500 BCE, involving into worldly rings in Egypt and the Roman Empire. These rings featured engraved symbols or crests on the flat bezel, which could be pressed into soft wax to create a unique impression, acting as a personal signature and a symbol of authority, lineage, or status. Now, when it said lineage, I had no idea. Wow. Hold on. Solomon's ring. What? Hold on. Looking. Solomon's ring. This a. What stone is this? Okay, it's a turquoise stone. Huh. Huh. $400. Wow. That's tough though. Hmm. Wow. But yeah, that's where the signet is. Say, says, then the king went. Yeah, it says, and the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Right, because he was worried about Daniel. Right, because he know Daniel didn't do anything wrong. Right, man. I would say what, man? They say when a man's ways please Yahweh Shemel Shai, he even make his enemies to be at peace with him. See? It says, then the king rose up very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. When he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living power, is thy power whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. He said, hey king, I'm good, man. I'm good, my boy. I'm good. My power it says, my power had sent his angel and has shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, I have done no hurt. He said, King, I didn't do anything wrong, man. I don't know what they talking about, but I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm innocent, man. See? Hold on. Let's get Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So faith is the confidence that we must have. Faith is the foundation there that we must have, man. You say what? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So the understanding of these scriptures is going to keep us firm and keep us stable when everyone else is losing it. When everyone else is bugging out, we're going to stand what? Firm. See, man? So, Jake, man, it's very important to read these scriptures, man. These scriptures keep us firm and grounded, man. All right, man. Jake, plus remember, Yahweh delivered David from the hands of Saul, from the hands of King Saul and the rest of his enemies. Because remember Psalms 18. Psalms 18, it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, the servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who spake unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua the words of this song in the day that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul, and said, I will love thee, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, my strength. It says Yahweh Shema Shah is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. I will call upon Yahweh Shema Shah, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. So it says, so I shall be saved from mine enemies. In the Hebrew, it's Yahweh, Salaya, Wamataza Wadathya, Wamagalatya, Aliyah, Tazawaria, Achasa Bawa, Maganya, Wakwaran, Yeshaya, Mashagabya. All right, once again, Yahweh, Salaya, Wamataza Wadathya, Magalatya, Aliyah, Tazawaria, Achasa Bawa, Maganya, Wakwaran, Yeshaya, Mashagabya. All right, so with that, I say, all right, so with that, I say, Shalom. Man, write this down in your notes and constantly go over it, man, and remember it. All right, so with that, I say, Shalom.